Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
It verifies the truth that God exists.
No. You're just trying to use some backhanded, stupid fucking logic that's saying, oh, well, you can't prove that it's logical.
Dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Why do people come in here?
All right, hold on. Bye.
Bullshit.
I want you to imagine, hold on a second. I want you to imagine that you're a jury member, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you are with, was it 11, 12 jurors? You're hearing a murder case, and there's a man on trial for murdering his wife, okay?
Uh-huh.
And he was seen going into the house, and he did not leave the house, right? His wife was alive. The wife was alive when he entered the house, okay? And then she was alive when he entered the house. And by the time the police got there, she was dead. Nobody entered or left the house. So the prosecution is accusing the husband of killing the wife. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And they said, the man is clearly guilty. And so the defense lawyer gets up and says, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as you well should be well aware, okay, is that although nobody entered the house before him and he didn't leave, nobody exited or leave it, and they're pinpointing the husband, he was not the only one in the house. The mother-in-law was in the house the whole time. So it wasn't necessarily him who killed the wife. So now what we have here is plausible deniability or reasonable doubt, because the mother could have killed the wife, right? So it was either the husband or the mother. Okay. So now we have reasonable doubt. But now the prosecution says, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defense told you the truth, but they didn't give you the whole truth. The mother is a quadriplegic.
Okay.
Now, does that change the whole story now?
Well, kind of, because if she's not able to...
Okay, yeah. And so what have I presented here? What we presented is what is called a reductio ad absurdum. Yeah, he wasn't the only human in the house. And when the defense said, you know what, it could have been the mother, but she's a quadriplegic. So you can reason the man's guilt due to the impossibility of the contrary. Okay, it's called a reductio ad absurdum.
You're not explaining how does the where's the big hit in the logic?
You're not understanding. Listen. I'm trying to explain to you a concept that you're not familiar with. It's called a reductio ad absurdum. That the denial of the proposition results in catastrophic absurdity or contradiction. So if a jury member were to deny that the husband was the one who killed the wife, right, then the only alternative is completely absurd, that the mother, who was a quadriplegic, killed the daughter. Okay, do you understand the analogy here? Okay, now do you understand? Now do you understand? I'm going to fucking kick your ass out of this room if you don't stop right now. You are being argumentative. I will listen to you.
Hey, stop.
Okay, last warning. Okay? Now, I will give you almost as much time as you want, but you're not going to overtalk me.
Sure, that's
okay?
fair.
I can already tell that you have an argumentative spirit. Now,
I said that's fair.
Do you understand now? Overtalk me again, and you're going to be banned from the server.
Sorry, Daddy. Go on.
Okay, you're banned. Okay.
That was not the right time to push it.
You know, I gave him fair warning. Okay, don't push it. He decided he wanted to push it.
Okay, but you also pushed him too.
Okay, are you a male or a female?
Why do people always ask that as soon as I talk? It hurts my feelings. I'm a female.
Why don't you?
Why? Because we. It's because we have so many effeminate people talking on microphone. I like to know whether I'm talking to a male or a female.
No, I was born a female. I don't like that people always think that I might be a male. Like, makes me feel like my voice is not very feminine.
Why don't you put a name or a picture that is a female?
Yeah.
I have a cat picture that should tell you that I'm a female. It's a picture of a cat. You should be able to use context clues. It's a cat. Right, it's a female.
Okay, fine. We understand you're a female. I wasn't trying to be provocative, okay? But we deal with a disproportionate number of perverts and transsexuals and homos and things like that. So
the last guy you talked to was a friend of mine. He is indeed a homosexual, but that doesn't make him a pervert or whatever.
Okay. Well, according to you, but according to God, he's a pervert.
We disagree on that.
Well, here's the problem. And we do disagree on that, and I welcome your disagreement, right? But in a certain sense. But you see, in your world, nothing is perverted because there is no objective right or wrong or standards for anything. So at least from your world, you're right. He's not a pervert because nobody can be a pervert in your world. No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. From your world, there is no right. There is no objective right in your world because there's no final reference point to determine what's right.
But subjectively, I can say I fucking hate pedophiles and I think they belong in hell. And, that's my subjective opinion. So, and that's what I go by.
But you're still making an objective determination that something is subjective, right?
No, it's subjective. It's my own judgment. It's my own personal judgment. I hate people that molest children and stuff like that. I see that as different from homosexuality.
Well, you just evolved to think that way, right?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Okay, good. So whatever you like or dislike is just simply the quirks of reproduction and billions of years of evolution. And what you hate because you evolved and, because of the genetic recombination of DNA and mutation, your neural states.
Maybe. I don't know if I even believe in free will.
No. Well, then I'm talking to an answering machine right now.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I don't know if I believe in free will. Maybe I am an answering machine.
Okay, no. Well, you see, you're just one of many of these young atheists you're just naive and you have no idea how incoherent atheism is. You're adopting atheism for one reason and one reason alone. You do not want there to be a God. And so because you're motivated.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Good. Then you can correct me momentarily, okay?
Yeah, the thing is, I really wanted to believe in God.
May I finish, please?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll let you have plenty of time to disagree, okay?
All right.
You don't want there to be a God, and consequently, because you don't want there to be a God, your mind has acted like a magnet to collect all sorts of ideas or slogans or rationales as to why it is not necessary for you to believe in God, okay? And I guarantee everyone in this room, right, if I start talking with you for the next 10 minutes, what's going to come out of your mouth are the typical atheist slogans and cliches that are
older than you might think. I'm older than you might think. I'm 30 years old, so I don't need you to patronize me.
Okay. Well, we'll see if you are just spewing out atheist cliches and slogans that are easy to refute, okay? So I told you, go ahead, you can speak.
I mean, it's not like I'm here to make a big argument in a debate thing in a formal way or anything.
It's okay.
I'm telling you though.
Listen, can I just make a statement? You're free to tell us anyone in here we're wrong, okay? As long as you're not trolling, you are free to say you're a fool. You're believing in nonsense, all right? You can criticize anything we believe, and I welcome you to do that. As long as you're not trolling, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I'm not trolling, but the thing is, you said something recently that you said, Oh, you want to believe that there is no God? Trust me. Like when when I was like 21, my father died, and I really wanted to believe in God, but I couldn't because it just didn't make sense. There was like no evidence for it. It just didn't make sense. It just like people use logic, and it's like it's not a choice. It's just like using basic logic. There's just not there isn't a strong reason to believe in like the Bible, at least like the Christian Bible. There just isn't.
Okay. All right. Well, you did as I predicted, that you would just simply repeat the same type of rationales that atheists do. Okay. Now, I may be critical of your reasoning, but I don't want you to take it personally, unless, of course, you behave badly and I insult you. Then you can take it personally, right? But what you've just spoken is just a series of typical atheist cliches, slogans, and platitudes. So why don't we go through them one by one and see if they actually do or do not make sense. So you said your father passed away, which is a very difficult thing for anyone to deal with. So how does it follow from the fact that your parent died or somebody else's loved one died that there's no God?
No, that wasn't the thing that made me not believe in God. What I'm saying is that I wanted to believe in God because I wanted to think, oh, I'll get to see him again someday. You know, maybe his life wasn't just like this depressing long thing. But I couldn't because it just doesn't make rational sense to me. It's like it's actually like a logical thing. Like there's not logically any good reason to think that the Christian version of the Bible is real.
If I told you that right before I got here, I had dinner on the moon, I jumped to the moon, ate a ham sandwich, and came back, you wouldn't accept that because it wouldn't make sense to you, right?
Right.
So when we say something doesn't make sense, either what we're referring to is unintelligible, or what is spoken is intelligible, but it doesn't conform and cohere to some other concepts or standards that we hold to, okay? And so since you believe in gravity and the limitations of human beings, that it doesn't make sense because that's inconsistent with physical laws. So when we say something doesn't make sense, it either means it doesn't conform to certain norms that we know of or standards or laws, or it's just unintelligible. So when you say it doesn't make sense, you're not saying God is unintelligible. You're just saying it doesn't conform to some conceptual standard in your head. Well, what would that standard be that you could demonstrate that the existence of God would not conform to?
What? So your question is what?
You said the existence of God doesn't make sense. Well, compared to what? Okay. Now, before we go on, let's just give a minimalist definition of God, at least from your perspective as an atheist.
I mean, dude, I've looked into it a little bit. Like it, just, like we don't know anything. Like we don't know like how the universe like we're like in a remote part of the universe. We have no fucking idea how like any of the universe began. We could just tell that we're like on a spinning rock in the middle of absolutely freaking nowhere. We're very far from anything else.
Okay. What do you mean we?
We're far from it.
What do you mean
we the human race. The human race. We're far from anything else.
Okay.
Like from anything that we could possibly like reach and contact. Far away.
So we're on the same page. I'm going to give you a definition of God that's as uncontroversial. Okay. So God is that which is eternal, ultimate, and the creator of mind and the institutor of all temporal facts. Okay. So we're going to be talking about God as creator. Now, when that is posited that this world is the product of God's creation and his providence, how and in what sense does that not make sense?
Does what not make sense?
You said the existence of God being the creator does not make sense. Well, why?
Like the Bible doesn't make sense. Like it just I didn't mention
the Bible to you. See, you're an atheist, and right now what we're talking about is your atheism. Okay. Now, if you want to discuss,
right, but I'm talking about Bible, Christianity.
May I finish,
let's be real. Okay.
May I finish, please? Okay. Okay. If you want to discuss the viability of Christianity or that it's unacceptable, that's fine, but that's another subject. Right now, we're talking about a minimalist definition of God, and you're an atheist, that the existence of God per se Doesn't make sense. Now, if I try to persuade you that the Christian God is the one true God, which I do believe, if I don't first show you the utter bankruptcy and incoherency of atheism, you're still going to be dragging your feet when I present my case for Christianity. So let's first just deal with the viability of atheism first. Because if I don't conquer atheism, if I don't show you that atheism is incoherent, then you have a moat around your castle that I cannot cross, right?
I think what you're not
let's
getting
just deal
is
with
that,
the issue of God first, okay?
okay, but atheism is not a religion. It's just saying I opt out. I don't think any of that is true. Like, I quit. It's not a religion itself. It's just saying that you don't believe in any of those other religions. That's all it is. So it's like, how can you disprove that?
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, do you think I haven't heard that before? I've
I mean,
heard
it's
that
just
many
true.
times. Okay.
It's
now
just true.
Good. So we're going to get back to your original contention. You said that the existence of God as creator does not make sense. How does that not make sense?
Sorry, you may want to make sure she understood that distinction between the two different senses in which we can use that phrase.
I did. I already went over that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not sure she.
How is it that the existence of God is inconsistent with some other standard that you have in mind in your model of reality?
Like, I don't know where any of this came from. Like, okay. Like, I'm really open-minded about this. You've got, like, Elon Musk, who's, like, he's lived a very, like, special life, and he's a billionaire, and he believes that everything is a simulation, that there's a computer game running all of us. Then you've got, like, other people that there's other people that got, like, chosen to be...
to answer a question?
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is...
question, can you answer it?
Okay, repeat the question.
Yeah, you said that the existence of God does not make sense. So you've concluded because it doesn't make sense, therefore it doesn't exist. So when we talk about God being eternal creator and the reason why anything exists, it does not conform and cohere to what standard? What in your worldview does the existence of God conflict or contradict with?
It's just that I don't have a reason to believe in it, so why would I believe in it?
Okay, that is yeah, that's what we call argumentum.
Okay, like, I hate to go back to this.
Can I respond, please? Okay.
Yes.
As the gentleman said, that's what we call in philosophy an appeal to ignorance. Okay, because if I don't have a reason to believe that it's true, then it must be false, or vice versa. Now, when you have an understanding that you're just a bystander here, and the world and the universe is just here, and things are chugging along, and somebody comes along and says, "Hey, there's this final boss, like in a video game that we call God," and you just say, "Well, I don't have any evidence for that." But you see, this is just a convenient criterion of belief that you immediately dismiss, because if you don't believe in God as the ground of all being, you're still going to have to deal with the problem as to what it is that's fundamental and ultimate in reality that dictates why anything is. So if God is not what is fundamental to reality, then you're going to believe that something else is. And if you don't believe that something else is fundamental, dictating what is, can be, and cannot be, then you won't have a reason to believe in anything. So you've already made it clear that you require reasons to believe in something. Well, if reasons are required to believe in something, then there must be something fundamental dictating what is, can be, and cannot be. So you don't have a reason to believe in God. So what is your reason to believe in what is fundamental, that is not God, that dictates what is, can be, and cannot be? What's your reason for that?
I mean, I don't, like, thing is, my whole reasoning is I have no idea where this planet came from, but, like, whoever it is that made it definitely doesn't care about us.
Right? But you know it's not God, right?
Whoever made it doesn't care at all about us, because there's people fucking, like, dying in fucking floods and shit. Why the fuck? Whoever made this shit does not care the shit about us.
Here we go.
Well, here's the problem. Okay, the fact that you don't like what the plan of creation is, okay, it doesn't follow from that there's not a creator. You thinking that you could have a better plan for creation and that the present world that you see would not fit your plan for creation, it doesn't follow from that there's not a creator. You understand that?
So, okay, so are we okay with the idea that maybe there is a creator, but he's just fucking super evil and he likes to like starve Africans just because he's like, oh, fuck Africa. Those people really suck. Like, is that what's going on? Why? Like, seriously, why won't he give them fucking water? I don't get that shit.
All right. Okay. All right. So do you object when God doesn't miraculously intervene and saves all these little baby Africans, right?
I mean,
when I ask a question, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I want an answer to your question. So when little children die around the world, and in this case, you brought up Africa. How about we have little African babies who die? Okay, right? So.
Right.
You feel that this is problematic for God, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you pro-choice?
Sure.
You're a hypocrite.
Ruh-roh.
You see,
I mean,
do you realize what you've just done?
What?
You just spouted a concept known as megalomania, okay? You are standing in judgment over God's plan, whatever his plan is, and because you think in your small little mind that you would have a better plan, okay, for creation, and that because people die or they're suffering or little children die, that God is a big bag boogeyman. But you see, you give the thumbs up to all the millions of babies who are getting their arms and legs and heads ripped off in abortion clinics. And yet you stand in judgment of God, yet you give the thumbs up to all these babies, the millions and millions of babies who have been killed in abortion clinics in the United States alone. Also including all the babies who are murdered around the world in abortion clinics. And you give the thumbs up. And you have the nerve to criticize God because within his plan of creation, he allows people to die sometimes sooner rather than later. Don't you see your gross hypocrisy?
I feel like you and me are like on a very different page. Like,
that's not an answer to my question. You approve You approve of the slaughter of the unborn, don't you?
No, I don't approve of the slaughter of anyone.
Okay. Well, this is great. Wow, this is great. So I've convinced you to become pro-life, right?
No, I'm not pro-life.
Okay, my mistake. So you're pro-choice?
Can I tell you something? So there's like
Are
so
you
many
pro-choice? You pro-choice?
Can I tell you why?
Then it doesn't matter why. You give the thumbs up to all the millions of babies in the past.
You keep on saying you listen to me, you listen to me, but you listen to what I say?
Listen, let's not talk past each other. If it was up to you, you're the deciding vote on the Supreme Court. You're Ruth Buzzy Ginsburg, okay? Okay? And you have the deciding vote whether to keep abortion legal or illegal. How are you going to vote?
I vote to keep it legal. Can I tell you why? Okay, listen.
I don't need to know you why, because you see your plan for all those babies being killed is.
You just said that we're not going to talk past each other. Are you going to listen to what I have to say?
Sure. Tell me about your plan. But then your plan is better than God's plan.
It's not about plans. Okay, so this is like.
Of course, it's your plan because you have the deciding vote.
Okay, so there's like so many like DNA combinations in the world, right? Like, okay, so every like minute a man I don't know the exact biology, but like every time a man like fucking, like does this thing, he makes like 10,000 sperm, right? And women are born with like 100 million eggs or something. So it's like the combinations are like, billions of people. Every single person has more people, like, has more potential people in them than the population of the entire Earth. So, though they would all be siblings, well, but yeah, like every like couple of people have.
What does this have to do with
what
the fact?
I'm saying is, I mean, every time I have a period, didn't I fucking kill somebody? Like in a way,
Wow,
like I killed like billions of people. Like all the guys I could have had.
How do you hold on a second? How do you say your name? How do you say your name?
Poji. Okay. But all the guys on Earth I could have had kids with, I killed billions of them every time I have a period. So it's like I don't know. Am I a murder? Yeah.
One problem as I'm seeing is your inability to focus on the topic at hand. You keep on segueing onto semi-related topic and then another related topic. The issue that we're discussing is the existence of God. Okay. Now,
we were talking. No, you were the one that brought us to abortion. You were the one that brought us to the topic of abortion.
Do you know what?
And
Do you know why I brought it up? To show you your complete inconsistency. Okay. You were objecting inconsistent. Listen to me. Focus. Okay. You objected to the creator.
You focus, okay? You focus. I'm focused.
You're how old?
I'm 30 years old.
Okay, then please act like a 30-year-old woman, okay?
How old are you?
Old enough to be your daddy.
Ew, gross.
He's in his 50s.
Why would that be gross?
No, that's literally
double.
True.
It's literally true. I'm double your age.
You said daddy like you wanted to fuck me, sicko. Gross.
No. Okay. Well, you see, now what you're doing is now you're revealing how deeply immature you are for a 30-year-old woman.
It's Plan B.
Yeah, you're extremely immature for many reasons in this conversation. Okay. Now, can we get back to the discussion?
Am I the immature one? Am I the one that can't handle?
No, we're not going to have dogpiling. Shut up. Now, Poji, can we get back to the topic at hand? You said it doesn't make sense because there are people, both young and old, dying. That does not demonstrate that there is no God. Now,
that's not what I said.
Okay, so fill in the question. There is no God because?
So here, okay. I guess I can't say that there is no God. It's in maybe there is like a computer player that actually is playing the world. Right, yeah. But like the Christian version of God, it's
Poji, listen to me.
I mean, why the fuck does this guy hate poor countries so much, but he really loves rich countries?
Poji, listen to me. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've talked with hundreds, if not a couple of thousand atheists over 10 years. Everything you're saying is nothing new. However, what you are saying, although there's great emotion attached to it, does not hold water upon a careful philosophical examination. Okay? The fact, 1 minute you're an atheist, and then the next, maybe there is. You need to make up your mind. Are you an atheist? An atheist denies that there is a God. Okay? So either you're going to affirm there's a God or you're going to deny it. Which is it?
Daddy, I don't think there is a God.
Okay. Well, sunshine, why is there not a God?
So I mean, maybe there really is like a computer player that's actually like playing this whole fucking game, but okay. What I don't believe in.
You're 30 years old and you're talking like that?
Yeah, what I don't believe in is the idea that there's
I find it. I really am having great difficulty believing you're 30 years old.
I am 30 years old. I was born in Portland, Oregon. I'm 30 years old. Okay. Now listen. Here's why I don't believe in any God. Okay, because or at least I don't believe in the God that I was raised to believe in. Because why the fuck does he care so much more about America and Europe than he does about Africa and
Did you okay, hold on a second. Okay. When you turned 18, did you vote?
Yeah, I voted for Obama.
Okay. So you voted for 12. Okay. Now
twice?
You need to focus on the conversation, okay? Now, there is no God because, and keep it short.
Well, okay. Maybe there is a God, but the Judeo-Christian God is definitely not real.
Okay, so we're not really going
totally
anywhere. This talking with you is like a dog chasing its tail. You have an inability to focus, and you keep on repeating the same nonsense over and over again. Okay, everything that you're saying listen to me. Everything that you are saying.
Can I ask you something?
Can I ask you to shut your mouth while I'm talking?
Can I ask you to fucking shut your mouth while I'm talking, bitch?
Okay. All right. So you're just a little troll. Okay. See you later.
I'm not trolling, but
you're 30 years old. Your sexual attractiveness is waning.
Yeah. 30 years old, a 14-year-old trapped in the body of a 30-year-old.
That went very wrong, very, very quickly.
At least
Well,
you showed a lot.
I feel sorry for her because she's a 30-year-old female imbecile.
Think she voted for Biden?
Is that even a question?
That's a given, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is the Biden voter base, like pretty much all of it.
Could you imagine her and Biden having a conversation?
Say, why did you vote for Joe? Why in the world would you vote for Joe Biden? And she would respond, "What's wrong with you? Doesn't God tell us to love the demented?"
Oh, that sounds like too coherent of a response, Darth. You need to be more vague.
No, she. You know what? If she hadn't gone so over the top obnoxious, I would have let her stay. But she literally had the mind of a 14-year-old, and it's sad. Did you notice her? She had a complete inability to stay focused on the conversation.
Yeah, that seemed kind of deliberate too.
Here she is upset about God letting children die in Africa, yet she gives the thumbs up to millions of babies being slaughtered.
What I was going to ask her is if she thought there was a difference between a fertilized egg and a non-fertilized egg.
Well, clearly she didn't by her statements.
Yeah, I know, and that was odd for a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I find great difficulty in believing that she's 30, but if she is, she really exemplified the mind of a 14 or 15-year-old, which is sad. By the way, did you get that Tom Rabbit?